Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is May 13th, 2025, and a new club has set their sights on Pau Victor. Also, I'm going to tell you about another Barcelona player that will be leaving during this summer transfer market. And finally, Barcelona are at risk of losing, or I guess they can't lose something you didn't have, but losing their chances at signing Jeremie Frimpong. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and welcome to today's third video. Yes, you heard that correctly. I've already posted 2 videos today. If you haven't seen them yet, make sure you do. And this is the third video of the day because of course we are nearing the summer transfer market, so there's gonna be a lot of news. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so you don't miss out on any news in regards to our beloved club, Football Club Barcelona, or FC Barcelona. Now, let's begin with the news because as I reported in yesterday's video, unfortunately, Pau Victor has decided to leave the club. Even though Pau Victor is very happy at Barcelona, it's always been his dream. In fact, he tried out twice for the Barcelona Academy, didn't make it. He came on loan last season from Girona to Barca Athletic, where he absolutely killed it, was the top scorer, and eventually, Barcelona signed him on a permanent transfer during this summer, and even though he's very happy because he's fulfilling a lifetime dream, Pau Victor realizes that he's at an age where he needs to be playing because he's young. He's 22 or 23. This is a very critical phase of any football player where they need to continue playing, otherwise they can plateau. So even though Pau Victor is happy, he has decided to leave during this summer transfer market in order to look for minutes somewhere else. And of course, Barcelona, out of respect for the player, are okay with him leaving, but they prefer to maintain control over his future, whether it be, sending him out on loan, or if they do permanently transfer him, retaining a buyback clause or some option to sign back, something like that. And well, even though there are plenty of clubs in La Liga interested in him, now there's a new club that has set their sights on Pau Victor. And this club is not in La Liga. Instead, is in the Bundesliga, because the newest club to become interested in Pau Victor is Bayer Leverkusen, who reportedly have already reached out to the player's agent to see what are his plans, what he wants to do. So it looks like Pau Victor will have plenty of options come this summer transfer market, which of course it is a shame. I think I was very excited with Pau Victor, the way he performed last season with Barca Athletic, the way he performed during the preseason. I would have liked to see him more. But at the end of the day, if Flick hasn't used them that much, something must be off during trainings that Hansi Flick has caught. So, who am I to challenge Hansi Flick? So if Hansi Flick believes that Pau Victor is not that big of a help, we have to believe him. So definitely a shame. We'll see what happens in the summer if he leaves on loan on a permanent transfer. But it looks like Pau Victor will have plenty of options as far as future destination. Now, from Pau Victor, we move on to another player that has decided to leave during this summer transfer market, and it's no other than Pablo Torre. Pablo Torre, who of course was signed from Racing de Santander with lots of hopes because he was showing a lot of potential. His first season was not that good because it was being reported that Pablo Torre liked kind of like the party life, the nightlife, those extracurricular activities. But since then, it seems that Pablo Torre has refocused his attention on his career. Every time he's come off the bench, he's always done important things, including scoring goals and providing assists. But nonetheless, he's had very few minutes. And unfortunately, that means that Pablo Torre will now be looking for minutes somewhere else because, of course, just like Pau Victor, Pablo Torre is also in that critical stage of his career where he needs to be playing so he can continue growing and developing. And since he's not getting those minutes in Barcelona, and since Barcelona have a very stacked midfield, it looks like Pablo Torre will be leaving during this summer transfer market. Now, Pablo Torre does have a contract until 2026, and Barcelona's #1 priority is to extend the contract of Pablo Torre and send him out on loan so he can continue growing and developing. However, if Pablo Torre decides not to renew, then of course Barcelona will have no other option than to offload him permanently because his contract does expire in the summer of 2026. So it means this summer Pablo Torre will be entering the final year of his contract. So, of course, if he doesn't renew, Barcelona have to sell him. Otherwise, he could leave for free the following summer. And it's reported that Barcelona's asking price will be 10 million euros, which, of course, my question to you is, do you think that's a good price? Would you want more or less? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, having mentioned, of course, Pau Victor and Pablo Torre, the current list of exits are as follow. Iñaki Peña, of course, has decided to leave now that Szczesny potentially could stay and become the second goalkeeper of Barcelona. Ronald Araujo, because he has that option to leave for 65 million euros during the first 15 days of the summer transfer market. Of course, that is going to be completely up to him whether he stays or leaves. Hector Fort. Looks like Hector Fort, if a good offer comes for him, Barcelona would consider offloading him since Hansi Flick hasn't really counted on him. Frankie de Jong, if he decides not to accept Barcelona's renewal offer, because as you know, there's a new rule that Deco has implemented where no player will play during his final year of contract. That means you either renew or you leave. Of course, Frankie de Jong will be entering the final year of his contract next season. And of course, there's Ansu Fati, who again, Barcelona have, stopped counting on him for a very long time. So that's Iñaki Peña, Ronald Araujo, Frankie, Ansu Fati, Hector Fort, and of course, Pau Victor and Pablo Torre. And out of those 7, I want to ask you guys, who would you get rid of? All of them, none of them, some of them? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, we will end today's video with the news that, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona could miss out on a potential signing of Jeremie Frimpong. Now, as you know, one of Barcelona's main objectives during this summer transfer market is to sign a fullback that can, alternate with Jules Koundé and Alejandro Balde. And the number 1 name on that list is Jeremie Frimpong, who will be looking to leave Bayer Leverkusen during this summer transfer market, like many of his peers. And of course, news had broke out that Jeremie Frimpong would prefer to come to La Liga. And given that Barcelona is the only club that he could potentially go to, since Real Madrid have decided to sign Trent, then it seemed like Barcelona could be the most favorable option for Jeremie Frimpong. But nonetheless, Barcelona have not approached the player because, of course, Barcelona cannot do that until they know what their financial fair play is going to look like come this summer. And they're not going to know that until the fiscal year is over around June 30th. So since Barcelona have not made any moves, it's reported that Liverpool have already approached his agent. They're currently negotiating with Frimpong's agent because, as I mentioned, Trent is going to Real Madrid and Liverpool need a replacement. So, of course, they have eyed Jeremie Frimpong and they have already began negotiating with him. So if the player agrees, that means that Barcelona will miss out on this golden opportunity. And I say golden because not only is Frimpong an incredibly talented player, he has speed, strength, technical ability, dribbling, 1v1, you name it. But also his release clause is reportedly set at 35 million euros, which is nothing for a player this good. So that's why I say it's a golden opportunity. But that's the league that we're currently in, Javier Tebas' league, where his financial fair play rules have completely asphyxiated all clubs. And this is why we're seeing all talent immigrate to the Premier League rather than come or stay in La Liga. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did upload 2 other videos. If you haven't seen them yet, make sure you do. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, peace, Barca.